Hello, and welcome to this episode of Business Beyond the Numbers podcast. Today I have with me Dawn Dunavant-Banks. Dawn has trained and coached hundreds of real estate professionals using her past experience of over 2,000 real estate transactions sold, proving a history of incredible motivation, creativity, and implementation of adaptable systems. Leadership, personal development, and execution of strategy created the ability for her team to be ranked in the Kansas City Business Journal in the top 25 agents and Wall Street Journal top 100 in the country year after year. Dawn continues to hold positions in leadership with the Missouri Real Estate Commission, serving on the board of directors and Women's Council of Realtors. And when she's not working with entrepreneurs, she's enjoying time with her family and friends in one adventure after the next. So welcome, Dawn. Glad to have you here with me today. And I want to just start off by having you tell us more about you, or a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, I am a real estate consultant. I have had 24 years now experience in real estate, and I love coaching entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have a fight in them and fire in their belly, and they are just so enjoyable to work with. And the thing is, in real estate, so many agents get into the business, and real estate brokers provide all these great tools like websites and CRMs, but they don't provide all the assistance that an agent needs in that consistent marketing and execution. So the implementation of those tools. And so I help agents implement those tools and then create a marketing strategy that we can execute for them on a consistent basis so they stay top of mind with their database. So I try to be that missing piece for real estate agents.
Okay. And the services that you provide in that marketing strategy. I know we talked a little bit before we start recording about my previous experience as an agent, so I'm familiar with the challenges that they have. But what does a marketing plan or strategy look like for an agent that's either just getting started or who's been in business and is just struggling with getting, a consistent flow of either listings or buyers?
So where we really shine is helping that agent create their database or their audience that they would be marketing to. So we all have thousands of contacts in our phones, and then thousands of friends on Facebook and LinkedIn, and our Gmail list. Like, we have lists everywhere. So the first thing we do is we help collect all those. We download them from every platform, and we create one spreadsheet. We format it and we research the information. We then have the customer list, because all marketing is built on data.
Wow.
And a real estate agent wants to work with people that already know them, love them, and trust them. So when we can create this incredible customer list, we then utilize that to do target marketing. So whether it's postcards, whether it's digital marketing, whether it's digital retargeting, that way we have a customer list so that their advertising dollars are getting wasted on people that don't know them. We just target them. So, for example, in the last 30 days, somebody with a database of 3,000 people can get close to 50,000 impressions just in banner ads. And so they're always in front of their database on those little banner ads on the side and in social media. So they're always top of mind.
Great, great. And I'm sure based on your 24 years of experience, you were able to kind of zone in or hone in on what types of marketing or systems would help agents or your clients to be successful. 24 years is a long time. I didn't make it quite that long. As a tax professional, I always tell people I got started in the late 1900s. So, so I get that, that longevity. I just didn't do that in real estate. So, um, 24 years, how did you get started? What made you want to go into real estate? How'd you get there?
Okay, so I go all the way back to the Carlton Sheets
Yeah.
cassette tape days.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Found one of those at a garage sale when I was in college. And I had been working as a counselor at a psych hospital to put myself through school. And I was like, okay, I can get a mortgage because I've had the same job for 3 years, right? So I
Right.
bought my first house that was a foreclosure, and I bought it for 40,000. Had that Home Depot book, and you could see me driving down the road with a hot water tank hanging out of my little Ford Escort, right? I didn't know anything. I would have given anything for YouTube back then.
Oh my
That would
gosh,
have been
yes.
helpful.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I'm working on this house, and the neighbor walks over and he asked me if I was going to sell it and what was I going to sell it for. And I had no idea back then. I just doubled the price. I just
Yeah.
threw 80,000 out there. And he said, sold. I'll buy it when you're
Wow.
done. My daughter wants to stay in the neighborhood, and paint and carpet and a new HVAC, and this house was good as new. And then I went and bought two houses. I was hooked at
Wow.
that point because I
Yeah,
was
sounds
like,
like you found
okay,
the easy button.
well, it was like, all right, this is something that no matter how long it takes, it will make money if
Yeah.
I buy right. It was about buying right
Yeah.
and learning the market. So that's where I got started. Then I got my real estate license to save the 3% when I was
Yeah.
purchasing my investments.
Got it.
And then I'm like, I really need to beat the investors to these properties. So I went to the agent who had the listings and said, I will de-trash the foreclosures, I'll mow the lawns. Um, and that gave me the opportunity to see the properties before the investors and get an opportunity to get in there
Mhm.
and buy them. Um, then the market started turning, right? And investors' money started drying up. So my buyers started drying up. So I looked around at the different agents that had listings, and it
Mhm.
started to be the more agents that had listings were foreclosure listing agents.
Right.
And I saw that some of them may be aging out of the business and didn't want to make the big transition into technology that was happening. So I wrote up some succession plans where I offered to take over the business over a period of time for a transitioning commission level.
Okay.
And I got 3 agents to take advantage of it.
Wow.
And that got me Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and several other banks.
Okay.
And that was wonderful. But I did work for, a small percentage for the first 3 years. But then in 2009, I was on my own and I opened
Mhm.
7 real estate offices in different
Okay.
locations.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah. So we were able to step in and take care of that in the market and loved it, but I got really burned out
Yeah.
and needed a different challenge. So that is when I stepped into brokering and became a broker manager at a very well-known brokerage in our town, in our city at Kansas City.
Mhm.
And hundreds of agents. I loved training, I loved coaching. But then 2020 hit. And I had a teenage son that was really struggling with dark thoughts. And
Mm,
he came to me, and I could not be away from the house 10 hours a day every day.
right.
Tony, I would get nervous to open the bedroom door when I came
I
home.
can imagine. Wow.
So I gave my notice. I sold an investment house and I used that as my salary for the year while we addressed that like a full-time job.
Hmm.
He's doing fabulous
That's
now.
good.
He's
Good.
so
Good
good.
to
He's so
hear.
good. We found incredible clinics. We found great help. He's doing fabulous. But I had to build a business on my own. I had to be able to do something from home where
Hmm.
I was available. And that is when I wrote out the missing piece to the real estate agent's business
Yeah.
and stepped into that position where we help them where they're at.
Right. Okay. And so you started at a time, and we talked about this 24 years ago, that would put you in a time when the real estate market was having challenges. And looks like you actually gone through a few of those cycles. And so you were fortunate to find a niche where you could still be successful. For me, it was rental properties, obviously not as lucrative as, making sales, but it was something that kept me in the business. So you said that you're starting with agents where they are. Do you target a particular somebody in a particular niche? Is that something that you like? Do you have an ideal client for your services?
So it's really interesting because that's why we have multiple different packages to choose from.
Okay.
The individual agent that is probably selling an average of 3 million or more a year
Hmm.
in volume would be interested in that first package of the lead launch pad where we're getting their database together, we're digitally marketing and hard marketing all the different modalities to their database, along with their listing and sold marketing. Now,
Okay.
I also work with teams. And with the teams, I'm helping that team leader with the accountability and training of that team.
Okay.
We also do video editing and business planning. Last week, we had business planning seminars and bring the whole teams together and work together for our numbers that we want to hit for the next year
Hmm.
and our conversion rate so we know what we got to do to get there. So it really is first meeting with that agent and saying, okay, where are you at now?
Hmm.
And where can we get you? Right? Where do you want to go? And then we reverse engineer from where they want to go.
Okay. So it sounds like you would be great for someone who comes in and thinks, oh, I'm just going to sign up with 100% commission agency or broker. And then they find out, oh my gosh, I don't get any support. But also, you're able to support that broker as well in providing support to their agents. So you
Yes,
have a range. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Good. Good. And so I want to talk about some of the challenges um, that you faced along your journey and how being an entrepreneur has helped that. I know you mentioned, the challenges that you had with your son and being fortunate enough to be in a place where you could change your lifestyle and be flexible so that you could give him that support. And you can talk, if you want to talk a little bit more about that, you can, but if there are other challenges that you faced along the way, you can share those and, just how being an entrepreneur has helped you to get through those.
Wow, that is such a good point because real estate, it helped me pay for college. I got out with
Mhm.
no debt, right? So right there it helped.
Yeah.
Then it helped me grow my wealth by building out with more rentals.
Hmm.
And in 2017, I was punched in the gut with a divorce that I didn't expect.
Wow.
And some financial abuse had happened there. And because of real estate, I was able to survive and thrive after that.
Mm-hmm.
Equity is the greatest gift because I don't know of any other average girl from small town Missouri that could make those chunks of money multiple
Mm-hmm.
times, right? People don't take advantage of capital gains tax enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I am someone that tends to move every 3 to 4 years because of that capital gains. The
Yeah.
house I'm in right now is a completely remodeled home and we built onto it. So it's one of those things, if I'm not building a new one or remodeling one, it's just how wealth is built with real estate,
Right.
is to be able to be agile and being able to rely on real estate has totally kept my head above water through all the hard changes and challenges in my life. It really
Yeah.
has been.
And I was just talking about this today in a Facebook group, how the American dream has changed. And a
Mhm.
lot of people, they look at buying a home as one of the pathways to wealth. And my view on that, I don't have a problem with real estate ownership, but unless you're planning to sell at some point, unless you're buying investment properties, that wealth is kind of trapped in that family home. And if
Mhm.
you're looking at that home as being a part of your legacy, depending on how you raise your children, they may not want to ever sell that family home. And so that wealth is trapped in there, and you have to be willing to look at real estate as an investment, as a tradable asset, something that, like you said, if something comes up, there's a hard time, you have that asset that you can sell to get that equity out of it, or like you did, build a portfolio of rental property. So, it's different because, before me, before I was born, that was the American dream, to own a, cute little home with a white picket fence. And that was the dream of wealth. But things have changed. You have more people who are working remotely, who want to travel, and being locked in one place is not necessarily their ideal lifestyle, but they can own a piece of real estate that they rent out while they travel somewhere else. So yeah, that's a good point, and a good way to set yourself up for challenges, or things that might come up that you have to deal with. um is there are there any areas in your business that you are feeling stuck with right now, or that you feel like could use improvement? I know you're out there helping everybody else and, putting on your cape and saving everybody else. What about you in your business?
I would say my struggle is operations.
Hmm.
It's all those little details of follow-ups and emails that need to get out, and
Yeah.
it's the operations. Like the process and the SOPs are written, but implementing the operations when you work from home, that is the
Hmm.
hardest part.
Yep.
I would love
And
an operations assistant.
yeah, and we don't get to, I mean, we find that thing we love. For you, it's real estate. For me, it's, taxes and finances, but we also have to look at the business of doing business, the things that, keep the business actually going. And sometimes we are wearing so many hats. And it's hard to kind of transition, even though we know we need to, but you need someone to help you with operations. So once you have that awareness, it's easier to start looking, but you still have to be willing to let go. Yeah.
Yes, it's a daily prayer here lately for God to send me, please.
Yeah.
I
So
think
so
I'm ready.
so what are you doing until you have found that assistant? What are you doing, or what have you seen or found that helps you in overcoming that challenge?
Checklists. And
Hmm.
so, seriously, everything has a flow and an SOP and a
Hmm.
checklist. So, I personally have to go through all my checklists myself because
Right.
it's details, it's operations.
Yeah.
So, that if I didn't have that, I'd be lost. And so, it's all the checklist manifesto.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you used or are you using AI at all in your business?
Oh, yes. I
Yeah.
love AI. ChatGPT is my best friend.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you a funny story. Yesterday, my husband, he thought, I don't know if he thinks I'm crazy. He probably does. And not just because of that, but he was walking by and I said, hey, come listen to this. So I told ChatGPT, I said, I want to give you a name. And I had it come up with a few names or whatever. And I used the text to voice and it was talking to me. And my husband looked at me like, okay, are you okay? But I was like, I want to give you a name. So now my chat GPT assistant is called Finn.
Oh, nice. I didn't know
Because
you could name them.
yeah,
Totally
it
fun.
will give you a few suggestions, but I'm like, I depend on it so much now
Mm-hmm.
because it makes things a lot faster. If I have an
Oh, yeah.
idea, I can, say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I'm thinking about. And it's like, sure, here you go. In, a few seconds, where usually it could take me hours or even a couple of days. So yeah.
Oh, easy. Yeah. It's amazing what we can get done with it. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I use Chat GPT, and now that because before I wasn't interested in AI, and I'm sure a lot of people, especially if you're Gen X or earlier, a lot of people were kind of doubtful about it. So I've
mhm.
gotten comfortable with Chat GPT, and it's like, what other areas of my business can I implement AI in? That's not Chat GPT, some type of other app or platform that will make things a whole lot easier. So those are the things that I'm looking at. And my daughter, I used to have a hard time getting her just to Google something. She would call me and ask me, but she started using Chat GPT in her business now too. And it's helped her with content. She's a fashion designer. So it's
Oh,
helped her
nice.
with content, helped her with emails, things that would have taken her forever to do, or she would try to, or not try, but she would write an email, but then send it to me so that I could edit it. So now, I mean, I like it. It's growing on me, and I'm really looking forward to other ways that I can implement it in my own business.
I would recommend you checking out opus.ai as well because it takes these long form videos like your podcast and you
Mm-hmm.
upload it and then it makes all the clips for you.
Yeah.
Now, I love to edit my own video,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have time to cut it up into
Right.
multiple different pieces. So I have really appreciated opus.ai.
Okay. I'll check that out. I found one yesterday that I was looking into. I can't remember the name of it. I know it wasn't Opus, but yeah, I found one yesterday and I was like, I didn't know that existed because I was going to actually have my husband do that. Or that's
Mhm.
something that he does. So I'll look into that one as well. So thanks a lot for that.
Yeah.
We talked about your challenges just in life, in business, or is there anything that you are celebrating now?
What would I be celebrating? Being out on my own and doing this absolutely on my own.
Yeah,
Right? Like, okay,
that
I'm
is something to
actually doing it.
celebrate.
I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, no, I am grateful. I am so blessed, Tony. God has given me a beautiful life. I celebrate all of it.
Hmm. Okay. And any wins in particular right now?
Signed a client today.
Yeah,
Yay!
that is a
That's always a
win.
win. Yeah, signed a wonderful team today. I'm so excited to get to work with them. And so It's always a breath of fresh air and new
Mhm.
energy. I love it.
Okay, good. So are you mainly focused on teams or does it matter? You'll
It's
take on a
usually
team or
individual agents or the team
hmm
leader, right?
okay.
But this one, I will be coaching his team once a month or once a week, holding accountability groups
hmm
and doing a training, uh, and um, and then doing their marketing as well, and helping them with what they've chosen to do in their business plan.
Okay. Good, good. So talk to me, and you've kind of gone into it a little bit, but tell me how you balance work and life.
Uh, I don't use the word balance. I use the
Hmm.
word harmony. Okay.
Good.
Real estate entrepreneurism is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so I'm a big fan of the Pomodoro technique if I
Hmm.
have a big project, right? 20 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 20 minutes on. Well, as an entrepreneur, you work different times, but here's the thing. Get up, go do some laundry. Get up, go prep for dinner. Get up. I can take care of my home and my family and the kids come in after school
Hmm.
and I'm back at work. Like, I love that it's harmonious. And
Right.
this is what my kids have always known. And it's beautiful to get to weave in home and work.
Right. And I see a lot of people who will say that working at home can be a distraction because you have the other things that you do. But if we're not careful, we can be sitting in front of the computer all day long,
That
never
was
getting up to eat, only getting up because biology says you need to get up now.
right.
But having those little things you can do, if it's just loading the dishwasher as a brain break, to step
Right.
away. I think it helps me. I can't say it's
Yes.
important for everybody, but it's been helpful for me because otherwise I'd sit here all day. I sit in front of a window and I could see myself because I've done it in the past, just sitting at my computer all day until it's dark. And, your eyes adjust as the light is dimming. And so you don't even realize that, you sat there for hours. So yeah,
Right.
taking those little brain breaks, it
Mhm.
helps a lot. Yeah.
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 And it helps the family life too. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
it's keeping it a well-oiled machine. I love it.
Yeah. And you're not having to do that after, if you say, well, I'm going to work until 6 and then 6 o'clock, and now you're scrambling to try to do everything, get everything else done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Harmony. I like that. I like
Yes.
that. So, what do you do for fun? And don't say work. You can't say that because I
No.
know when you enjoy what you're doing, it can be fun.
Well, it helps that I have 8 children and 8 grandchildren. So,
Oh,
so we always have stuff to do. We always have birthdays and ball
yeah.
games and when they all get along and like each other, it's
Yeah.
wonderful. So they all hang out together and so we live on a lake and we play and we just all hang out and have something to do. There's
Yeah.
always something planned.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a big family. I don't have
Mhm.
any grandchildren yet, and I stopped talking about it. And I say if it happens, it happens. I've even threatened them that I was going to start making my own, and they don't really care. That threat doesn't work. So I had to stop that because you never know what you
I
might
don't.
speak
Yeah,
into existence.
that's
And that's
right.
not
That's
something I
right.
want right now. Yeah. So um, together we have six, all adults, but I can't recall a time that they've all been together, maybe
Oh,
once or twice. And
yeah.
now, three of them live out of state, or four. Four live out of state. Only two are here.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to find real fun things to do. My husband's family is actually large, and so they have functions here. Now, as an introvert, they have to kind of make me come out.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's why I said
Mhm.
you can't say work, because I know that's exactly what I would say. But yeah, I try to get out. We went to a wedding this weekend and we had fun. So
You got to make yourself do it.
yeah, you do. So let's see. I only have a couple of more questions. Um, I want to talk about, and again, this is one of the things that you might not have seen, but I did tell you about my operating system, my flow operating system, but it's the basis of my business, freedom, legacy, opportunity, and wealth. So can you talk to me about how you have structured your life in pursuit of either or all of those things?
Absolutely. Real estate has been that platform, right?
Mhm.
It's been the tool that we've been able to use. It's our goal that we're able to give each one of our children a house, right? It's one of those that generational and it's sometimes in real estate you're like, I just want to quit and go be a door grader at Walmart. I mean, hasn't every entrepreneur said that? Probably not. Probably just me and my friends. But sometimes you think it would be easier to just
Yeah,
go to work for someone else. But then you do that and you find, wow, this is so controlling against everything I possibly have in my body.
exactly. Yeah,
Um, I mean, I physically can't do it. Like there's something in our spirits
yeah,
that we're like, okay, we can play the game for a while, but sooner or later we just can't be confined.
yeah. The euphoria wears off and reality hits, and it's like,
Yeah,
no, yeah.
just can't be confined. So real estate has been that tool for me.
Okay.
And it's all
Mhm.
about being able to have the freedom to do what I want, when I want, with
Right.
who I want.
Exactly. And I've said that so many times. And then the legacy is in, like you said, having a home for each of your children. Um, what about, are any of your children in real estate?
Yes, our daughter is in real estate and she's phenomenal at it.
Mhm.
She's great.
Okay. Any plans to have any of the others come in or have them come into business with you?
If they wanted to, but they're gonna have to work for it. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't given to Kate. Kate worked and earned everything she's done in real estate, and she's a great agent. And if another one of the kids wanted to join us, then great. I mean,
Hmm.
with real estate, I'm not handing you anything.
Right.
You still have to work for it as well.
Yeah,
Like that's a
definitely.
tough gig, man. But if you just keep showing up, if you don't quit, you don't fail.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's a good answer. Um, and I like to and I know not everybody is focused on legacy or wealth right now. So I like to bring up the discussion. And I mean, it's fine. We all have different goals. Some people have their business just because, like, we don't want to work for anybody else. And so right now, wealth isn't the primary goal. And I just like to see where people are in that respect. For you, what's the most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur?
Being home when my kids get home from school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that makes a difference for a lot of people. Um, and I'm looking at children just getting off the bus, walking by now.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference for me because of the timing of when I started my business. I didn't have that the opportunity all the time. I mean, there were times when I was home with the youngest one. I did. I was home, when she got home. There were times when I had to take her to school, even though I told her, if you miss the bus, you're going to have to figure it out on your own. And she's like, yeah, okay.
Right. Uh-huh.
But being able to do that, if she did miss the bus, being able to take her to school, and just the youngest one is very, very extroverted. And so her day would, when she came home, she had to tell me every single thing that happened in her day. And if my husband wasn't there, he'd have to hear it when he got home. And now she she will call me. She's in Atlanta. She used to call me every single day. And because she's a talker, I didn't have to talk, because that's one of my least favorite things to do is talk on the phone. She'll call me just about every other day now, but it's having, I feel like, even though she's an introvert, I feel like because I was there for her to be able to build that bond and build that relationship and feel comfortable talking to me, that's why she does it. So yeah, that is something that, and I've seen a lot of moms have mom guilt when they are just starting their businesses, and it takes so much of their time. And so I would just say, just give it time. At least you are there, but you do have to work, because there's a business, but you have that flexibility
Yeah.
to be able to do the two. Okay. Um, what is the end goal for your business?
Well, I would love to have $100 million business and sell it.
Yeah, built to sell. That's one of
That's
my,
it. Build
yeah,
it to sell it.
built to sell.
It's what I do.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Is there anything you wish that I had asked you today? Anything you wanted to talk about that I didn't ask you about?
I think you did absolutely fabulous.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. And I asked you before, and I'm going to ask you again, is there anything that you have that you want to share or promote? And if not, just tell the audience who should reach out to you. If you're looking for this, reach out to me, and then where they can find you.
Okay. Well, I am with Terra Firma Consulting and Marketing, my company. And so the website is terrafirmacoaching.com. And that's where you'll find the packages of marketing that we provide agents. And it's an idea of where to start. And we create custom packages as needed. And maybe you just want to bring your database together and have it researched. We can provide that service as a one-off as well.
Okay. And like I mentioned before, I love that you have pretty straightforward pricing, in addition to being able to customize based on specific needs. But that's always helpful for somebody to be able to go to a website and see, in every case, it's not possible. You have to talk to the prospect to know what they need, just like you have your
Right?
custom prices. But having, there are times when people say, I just need this, or maybe they don't know what they need, but they
Right.
come, they see a package, and then you have the opportunity to talk to them more about their needs and putting together something that's going to help them. So
Yeah.
before we wrap up, I want to ask you a random question. So I'm
Okay.
going to go to the random question generator and see. Okay. What's the way you find yourself procrastinating most?
TikTok.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you spend hours there?
Oh, no, no,
Mhm.
no. I don't spend hours there, but if I'm like, chill, okay, I just need a few minutes, TikTok or Kindle, right? I try
Mhm.
to read uh 30 minutes a day in the afternoon and 30 minutes
Mhm.
in the morning. Like in the morning is I have a very regimented morning. But then that afternoon before I start cooking dinner, that would
Yeah.
probably be when I procrastinate and I finally try to get a brain break. And I either
Mhm.
look at TikTok or read on my Kindle for a little bit to kind of stop, kind of make a hard stop of work
Yeah.
before I flip over to mom and cook and all that.
Yeah, I can relate. I have a game on my phone, Cookie Jam, and I think I'm
Oh,
almost at level 8,000 or something, but I'll either be doing that or solitaire. So I've
okay.
intentionally not, so when I set up TikTok, I set it up under my business name, but I never use it. I have intentionally not changed it to a personal account because I know if I go on there and I'm able to comment that I would be stuck there. So yeah.
I understand. That's probably a really good thing.
Yeah. So thank you so much for spending this time with me, having a conversation with me. Um, I think we covered everything. Are there any final thoughts, any advice you'd like to give to entrepreneurs out there who are either just getting started or just trying to find their way and stay balanced and focused?
Keep going. Just don't quit.
Yes,
It's
yes.
okay to take a break. It's okay to pivot. It's okay. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Dawn. And I will, hopefully we can continue the conversation offline. And hopefully this will, send some people your way. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
go ahead.
Thank you for having me, Toni. I
You are
appreciate it.
very, very welcome.